If I would undeafen myself, we should be good to go. Another two-man show, but we are back. Took a week off last week, post Royal Rumble, because some conflicting schedules. But we are back this week. Again, conflicting schedules, but me and AJ decided, hey, we're going to fucking do it anyways. We're going to run this bitch. So, how you been doing? Yeah, fuck him, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah, fuck him. Apparently Joey had a bad day. Usually in a normal day of talking to Joey, there's going to be, throughout the day, going to be quite a few messages, even if it's just dumb shit. Literally, that message that he sent two messages in our wrestling chat today. That would total, before he got home, 3 messages I've seen of him all day today. And then he got home, he sent that one in the wrestling chat. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before that he sent me. And those are like, you know how you double text somebody? Basically one message there. Yeah, and from that message that he sent me, dude went through it today. So Joey's not joining us today. Dustin still has his D&D game. We're still waiting for that character to die at some point, even though I'm sure he'll just make another character. But so we're here. How you been? What's up? It's going. As some people may say, I'm gonna make just the informal announcement because I tried to post something about it, but I didn't fully finish updating it. There is approximately, I believe it's like maybe a 30-minute VOD of me trying to stream the new Hogwarts Legacy game that dropped for pre-orders on Tuesday. It about to kill my PC, so my PC is rather old. I'm running some very old equipment in it. I think it's going on 7 years old, I believe. Still got like a NVIDIA 1060 in it, and they're on their 40 series now. So, yeah, just playing the game by itself, not streaming, because I tried to record also, and that still also was struggled a little bit. Then I just played the game after. I've been playing the game after, and I still have moments where it still struggles. Combat messes me up a lot. I don't know why all of a sudden, but combat messes up a lot. So, I'm working on the process of getting a new PC. So if that happens, I'll revisit those options down the road. But so that's that format. That's why that content is stopped. I think I'm gonna try to do something this weekend though. I'm gonna do like maybe a little stream for some mini painting or something this weekend because I bought this fucking other camera and haven't even used it. So probably need to do that at some point. But so we're gonna do that. I'm gonna try to do something like that this weekend. I know AJ's been pumping out content. I believe you finished Midnight Suns. Yeah, I like that little picture. It was dope. The thumbnail. Yeah. Yeah. So I had a weird moment last night where, again, I'm not. If people think I'm getting into spoilers of the Hogwarts game, I'm not. But I had to go talk to a NPC in the game. Let's leave it super vague. I had to go talk to an NPC in the game. And I'll say it's a teacher that I had to talk to in the game. Okay, I had to talk to a professor. I go and as I speak to this professor, you had to. I don't know what happened exactly. I thought I was just going to talk to the professor, but apparently in the process of doing that, it started like a class cinematic. And so I missed all of that dialogue because it's almost like it fast forwarded it. So you can still hear the teacher talking, but the dialogue she was saying wasn't the dialogue that was showing up in the subtitles. And it was just flashing subtitles. And then you're just going through, and then eventually the game catches up and you're in the cutscene with just the professor. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like, it was just so random and so off the wall what happened. I was like, man, I'd really like to know what that whole cutscene was that I didn't get to see. I don't know if it was trying to play the class and then the quest at the same time. I didn't know what. But yeah, it's a weird thing where I don't know what's happening. So I'm excited for new PC play stuff on, because I mean I'm playing both God of War and this game on the lowest quality I could possibly get out of it, and I'm like, yeah, I think it's about time. So. That's what we got going on. But that's for other stuff, other content, other things. We're talking about some wrestling, and I have a question for you. Just off the top of the rip, I'm sure we have some stuff to talk about. We haven't talked about Royal Rumble yet. Couple weeks of Dynamite and stuff, and my first question is, what the fuck? so I realized the past 2 weeks that I haven't watched Dynamite. So I was like, I need to fucking watch Dynamite. So I kind of skimmed through most of Dynamite. I watched most of the high points, the thing. Like I watched the MJF match. I watched most of the Bryan Danielson match. Roosh no sells everything. That's one thing. Like that motherfucker was taking all kinds of shit and just looking at Bryan, and I'm like, oh, I'm cool with it. Hey, it works. It works. I mean, he beat the shit out of Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's chest looked so bad. You know, and then most of the Elite match I watched. Why are the Guns the tag team champions right now? I mean, that's true. That's true. Because I mean, if you made one thing, you made everyone hate the Guns more. So, oh, hold on. We're just gonna fucking keep this shit in. I'm glad I looked down. Chat. Now say something.
All right. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Oof.
Okay.
So, hey, only 6 minutes in. 6 minutes in. We're good.
Good. Okay. One, it gets everybody talking about it. Everybody complaining about it. Everybody hating it.
Yeah.
Two, if you think about it, Guns and the Acclaimed, this is pretty much one of their biggest rivalries that they've had and storyline for about a year.
Yeah.
Three, two homegrown talents, essentially within AEW. Four, if you think about it, the Guns, right? Yeah, they're spoiled pieces of shit, untitled things that are there through nepotism through Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
And if they had won the opportunity, and like everybody else, which is going through the rank system, instead playing the victimizing the dad card and managing to get a title opportunity, and five, I mean, they cheated to win. So, like, if you think about it, it makes sense. I mean, I'm not happy with it, but logically, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And essentially, I feel like the long run is they're not going to probably put it back on the claim, but we're going to get the return of FTR.
Okay, yeah.
Granted, because I think now we're going to leverage this as a new contract opportunity to bring back FTR and have them win and beat the Guns for the tag titles, because obviously there's also that where the Guns beat FTR. Yeah. Again, they cheated.
Yeah.
But you can play that, know, that card as well.
Yeah, I thought watching before, because you have the little backstage part, or I thought I missed it the first time and I went back and found it, where Billy's saying that he's staying backstage, and excuse me, Max is like, yeah, I think that's the best thing to do. I think for you to stay backstage. And then it goes to Bowens, and Bowens almost looks like he does, which I mean, obviously he is, because he's in that situation because of Billy Gunn, where he looks like he's pissed at Billy Gunn, and he doesn't trust him, but he still does, the scissor me daddy ass, and his facial expression changes pretty quick after that. And then when you get to how long they stayed, because when the match ended, they watched the Guns for a minute, but then everything moved back to the Acclaimed in the ring. And I was like, okay, this is when the Acclaimed's going to turn on Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
And that's 100% what I thought it was. And then it didn't happen. And I'm like, and then you see, they mention it on commentary of, oh, the Guns aren't even celebrating. They're more focused on their dad in the ring and all this. And I was like, okay, well, this is what, and I assumed that's where, and I'm assuming that's probably going to happen at some point where either Billy's going to turn on the Acclaimed or the Acclaimed's going to turn on Billy. I don't know which one's which, but.
Yeah, I really thought, Billy Gunn was going to help his sons win the tag titles. Like, I legit thought, I was like, oh, okay, we're going to have a Billy Gunn turn here. and then it didn't happen.
Yeah.
The Guns hit him with the title belt. And did you happen to see that ref bump?
Yeah, dude
Bro,
flew
the
out of
pic.
the yeah. And with as little HP as the rev, we know the refs have, I don't know how that guy's still alive. Like that
Okay.
guy.
I got the exact picture. I'll send it in Messenger real quick because, bro, I thought the dude died.
Oh, I did not see that. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I'm gonna save this so I can pull it up and I'll pop it up on the thing real quick. I did
Oh my
not see
God.
that. That is wild.
Yeah, so he took that bump and I mean even taking that bump, I feel like you'd sell the shit out of that
Oh
regardless.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But but yeah, it was fuck. I'm like, holy shit. I was like, okay, I
So
guess you can
his
see.
was legit. Normally
Yeah,
they get tapped and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm out. Let's slow count.
yeah,
No, that dude was literally concussed.
yeah. They needed to take his ass to chiropractor right after that, because
Yes.
holy shit.
Where's it at? Okay, there it is. Okay, it's just gonna pop up randomly on the screen. There it is. Okay. Here, let's put it. Let's put him in this spot right here. Let's pull it down behind the little logo. Where the fuck is the thing? Where's the background? Oh, background right there. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. We're just
Yeah,
gonna leave him there. Fuck Joey and Dustin.
yeah, I
Yeah.
could just leave it there. It works. Yeah, I was like, ah, damn.
By the way,
Okay.
I just realized as I did, I could have done that way better where I did it and then transitioned into it. Fuck it, you know.
Oh well.
But yeah,
Do it live.
that is fucking. I did not see that part live. I seen him take a hell of a shot and go flying out of the ring. Um, but that's I did not see that picture. That is insane.
Yeah, that shit's wild.
Yeah. Um.
But yeah, I mean, it's gonna see. I don't know how long the Guns will be champion. My guess, maybe. I mean, we're a little bit less than a month,
From
yeah, a couple
Revolution.
days less than from
Yeah.
Revolution.
Yeah.
What they could do is rematch at Revolution. I don't think FTR is gonna come back right away. I figure they could potentially come back after and then do that
Yeah.
that feud, and then have it be said. Guns get 2 3 month title reign.
Yeah.
Well, technically, if they roll it, if they really want to roll it to the next pay-per-view, Revolution, and then it's Double or Nothing, and Double or Nothing's usually in May. Yeah, that's a pretty good,
Yeah.
decent title run. That's like 5 months.
Um.
So
So then there was another thing that I had that I was like, this is so. What was the title of this episode? It was champion something. I can't remember what it was. What they because I kept calling it
yeah,
this. The whatever
yeah,
it is. Why isn't this Battle of the Belts where your big championships are either on the line or shots at them are on the line? These are this was the more of a battle of the belts than any of the other 17 Battle of the Belts that they've done.
yeah. I'll give it to you. I'll give
Yeah,
you
I
that.
was like, they kept calling it that,
Grant,
and I go, why don't they just call this Battle of the Belts? You know what I mean? Like,
it's true,
yeah,
right? Battle of the Belts is to obviously have title matches.
yeah,
Um, and well, if you think about it, how they've treated the AEW World Championship being the most significant prize
yeah,
in professional wrestling, and now with it being with MJF, you're not gonna get as
yeah,
many title defenses, which is
yes,
totally fine. And it was great. The episode was great yesterday because you got the big match feel of MJF's presence throughout the entire show. We got to see him three
yeah,
times,
yeah,
which kind of just shows a little bit more like, okay, you're kind of like really tuning in to
yeah.
see what MJF's gonna do and what's gonna happen. He's got this banger of a match with Takeshita. Fucking,
Was that
he
spot
flips out of
planned?
the flipping out of the
Yeah,
lariat.
was that
I
spot
have no
planned?
fucking clue.
Because it
I would
doesn't
think
look
so.
planned, but
That shit
like,
was wild.
yeah, that's some Nick Jackson shit. That if Nick Jackson did that, you're like, okay, yeah, no, yeah, that's what Nick does, or like anybody else. It literally almost anybody in that the 6-man match. Any of those
Yeah.
people do that, or Sammy or somebody like that does it. You see MJF do, you're like, what the fuck has this dude been doing? Like this shit's
Just
out of
shows how
nowhere.
fucking like how good he is
Yeah,
as as a talent. Like fucking pulled that shit out of nowhere. And I think he does a couple other things. Um, so has that banger of a match. He's got the backstage segment, uh, a little risque,
yeah,
with what he was
yep,
saying.
yep.
Then they've locked
Some
Danielson
some
in the
some
locker
hand
room.
motions, and
Oh
then
yeah, big time.
doesn't he have
Uh,
some kind of history with Liv Morgan?
he does, but I don't know if was directed
Yeah, so
to
I don't know.
her.
I was like, because one part of me was like, I don't remember if he dated her at one point, like if they dated for real, or I knew there was some kind of tie to Liv Morgan, and it was weird that he specifically, oh, let's call her Liv, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, dude.
I mean, it could have been, but I mean, who at this point it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
But we get that. We get he's out there for the Danielson Roosh match.
yeah,
And the fuck. Well, they're in El Paso, but granted, the crowd was behind Roosh
yeah.
too.
That's another question I have, just about because watching. So the first match, the MJF match, I watched on my phone at full volume while I was doing dishes in the kitchen. Obviously, um, did they have the crowd like super mic'd up, or was that just the crowd?
That was just the crowd.
Because that shit was so loud. Like I
Yeah.
could barely hear the commentators. It was so loud.
It was pretty. It was a decent crowd
Like I don't know if it was
It's
just
like
like watching it on my phone, it's just my phone speakers or something. But I could barely hear the commentary, and the crowd was insanely loud.
yeah.
Like that's what my first
Uh,
thought was. They mic'd this crowd up hard, but I don't know if they did or not. But
um, and then what was our last?
there was a
No, that was it.
Jamie Hayter had a match against
Jamie Hader.
Bunny.
I think Bunny got hurt during that, and I think they needed to call it a little bit earlier. Um, they had a trios match, which was just, I mean, like you kind of
Yeah,
going in, you kind of know what you're expecting to
yeah,
get out of it, and then like you get exactly that.
yeah,
And then going into it, I was like, oh shit, they're gonna do trios and then tag titles back to back. I was like,
yeah,
how much time are this trios match gonna get? And then we get to the main event, and they're like, they got about like 15, 17
yeah.
minutes, which was all like, all right, this is a normal, good, decent tag team match. So, um, but yeah, I mean, uh, the Guns win, and you can hear how quiet
Oh yeah,
that crowd got.
yeah. I'm sure they thought somebody
Like,
fucked up.
yeah, they were
Yeah.
like,
Somebody got hurt or somebody got something, somebody fucked up something,
and
because it
everyone
was
was like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, dead silence. I also did hear that during the commercial breaks, Roosh would go out there, and he did it a few times where he would get the crowd going. So, like, that was pretty cool. Um, and then I've also then we had the fucking gauntlet match.
yeah.
Um, fucking Jericho. If
Horrible
it's a
juice effect.
if it's a
First,
person in a luchador mask,
yeah,
75% of the time it's gonna be Chris
yeah.
Jericho.
That's what somebody. I see somebody said something about Jericho's disguises always pay off, and it was like 6 different pictures of him in just random assortments of something. Yeah, yeah,
Luchador
yeah.
masks. That was fucking
And it's
hilarious.
funny because when he hit that dude, you could tell the dude beside him, like the actual fan in the crowd, it was like a big dude. He like backed up, like I didn't
Yeah.
do shit, dude. I don't know. And that dude had no idea what was going on. He was so confused. He was looking at security, like, "Hey, y'all gonna do something? Like, what the fuck is happening right here?"
It was him.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't do
I noticed that too. That was hilarious.
Yeah, so that was it was okay. I mean,
Yeah,
I
at that point, I
guess.
don't. It's hard for me to take anything that the JS does seriously at this point. So, because I
Yeah,
don't
but
like any of them really. Like I like Jericho, and that's about it.
the really shitty part is, I mean, okay, we started the year. Ricky Stark already beats Chris Jericho.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's like I understand needing to do the whole get through my minions to the final boss level, but it's like, bro, we dragged this on for just so we can try and get this match for Revolution,
Yeah.
essentially. So we'll see, I guess, what happens. But with Danielson beating Roosh, the other thing, we got our main event for Revolution is going to happen. MJF versus Bryan Danielson in a 60-man Iron Man match. So
60-minute
that,
Iron Man match.
yeah,
60 minutes. I don't even know if they have 60 people on their roster.
they probably do. So yeah, that's gonna be fucking sweet.
Yeah,
Can't wait for that.
that should be really good.
And then that's when we're gonna get CM Punk back.
Oof. Yeah.
Ah,
Maybe that would be if that happened. If I don't even know how the crowd would react.
the crowd is gonna explode regardless. I feel like.
Yeah, that's gonna that's gonna be crazy. If because I'm and then the thing is can you bring Punk back as a face though to face MJF? Like I don't.
I think he could most likely be. I guess he could be a little anti-hero-ish. I
Yeah, I
guess
don't know though
maybe.
because a lot of people don't like him right
Oh,
now. A lot
no.
of people don't like him right now.
Oh, we'll kind of see what's gonna happen.
As they say in the wrestling business, for shoot, don't like him right now. So, um, but yeah, I guess what else we had the Royal Rumble. Should we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, you could do that real quick. The 5 matches, so it's probably gonna take about 5 minutes.
Well, I mean, we have the 5 matches, and then you have the actual main event that happened after the matches. So,
True. Okay,
so
yeah.
there's that. So, um, Women's Rumble, Rhea coming in at number one, winning
Mommy.
it.
That's what I'm
Mommy
talking
winning
about.
the Royal
That's what I'm talking
Rumble.
about.
Clean,
Go,
just clean the
go.
house.
She's the anchor coming in at one, outlasting 29 other women.
Yeah,
Bravo.
fantastic, fantastic,
Okay.
fantastic. Everybody,
Absolutely.
I don't even know where those predictions of like, hey, yeah, Rhea, like who else is gonna win the Rumble at that point? It was like
I
when
mean,
you,
really, I mean, how hot Rhea was going into,
yeah,
like, at least getting TV
yeah,
time, I should
yeah,
say.
yeah. I
You
know what you mean.
know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
there's no one out there that outshining Rhea. Like, the only other potential that could, for me, Raquel would have been the only other
yeah,
person because I think she's been doing a lot of great stuff. And prior to the Royal Rumble, it was planned Raquel versus Ronda for the title at Rumble until they fucking pulled that shit back and had
and
Charlotte win.
Charlotte.
Um, so like
I
that's
mean,
really the only other person I think would have
the
come close.
the only things I could have seen, and I don't like any of them, or so obviously Rhea and Raquel. Cool with either of those. Obviously, the right choice of Rhea winning. Raquel I'd have been okay with. If Ronda came back, I
Oh,
could have seen
fuck
that.
that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, again,
yeah,
these next two things I say I am heavily against was Ronda coming back and her winning, or them trying to book more of this crazy live shit and live winning. That's the only other things I
it,
could really see happening. And like again, I repeat, both of those things heavily against.
yeah.
So out of that,
Uh,
right decision.
it was great seeing Crazy Asuka, her old
Oh
Kana
yeah, yeah, yeah,
persona.
yeah. It looks
I
like she's
did
going
call.
forward with that.
Yes, which I'm very happy because she needed something different.
Yeah,
She needed a new,
a
I want to
refresh.
say a refresh because it's not a repackage, it was
Yeah,
more of a refresh. So I'm really excited. They keep doing it. Um,
keep her out of tag teams.
yes, 100%. Hopefully she'll be. Well, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, Asuka coming back, awesome. Chelsea Green coming back. She's got the Karen persona, which is pretty funny.
Also,
I think it's annoying, but she kills it. She's fucking killing it. So
Matt Cardona tweeting immediately after she's eliminated of my wife's back first night in the back in the WWE, and she's
breaking
already setting
records,
yeah breaking records.
which is it's really fucking shitty, but it's
Yeah,
because
it's yeah,
it's contributing to her
yeah.
character, but still, I'm just like, bro, we
Oh,
could have saved that for like fucking Alicia Fox or something
yeah.
or somebody else.
Michelle McCool coming out of the crowd.
Yeah,
Um, really random. The Nia Jax return, like, is she back, or is she still? Is that
No,
just a one time thing?
apparently it's a one-time thing. Granted, she came out at 30, which is fucking ridiculous. Botches two
Yeah,
spots.
and they're like,
She gets a new
what?
T-shirt too. She has a new tee.
That's
Uh,
hilarious.
but
What?
apparently, uh, no, it was just a one-time appearance.
So what if they were like, hey, you go out there at 30, you don't fuck anything up, you get a contract, and she's immediately like, boom, fucked it up. Like,
Hold my
um,
beer.
yeah, pretty much. But other than that, not really many surprises in the women's rumble.
No, because
A lot of NXT ladies there.
yes, and I feel like they deserve the opportunity. I
Yeah,
think
true.
for sure we had Indy, we had Roxanne, we had Zoe Stark.
I mean, definitely use them instead of using people like Kelly Kelly. No offense to Kelly Kelly,
Yes.
but Kelly Kelly's
Yeah.
not a wrestler. You know, I mean, she never.
Right.
She was more of an
Was really.
attraction. Yeah,
Right. Right.
more than a wrestler for a long time. So yeah, use those people more than people like, like I said, Kelly Kelly, for example, or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah. Which kind of makes sense to I was really hoping that they were gonna do Mickey James again,
yeah,
but with I guess with Triple H being ahead of creative, it makes sense for him to be like, no, I want the
yeah,
females from NXT to get more exposure and not fucking pull around all these old legends to come in
yeah.
and take the spots. Which I mean, kudos to him for that. So, um, in terms of the men's, Gunta being that fucking
True.
anchor,
Yeah,
anchoring
yeah.
that fucking shit.
They got him over hard that night. Like
Oh God, so
it's
great.
yeah, it's great. Also, probably my biggest thing, obviously, Gunther arguably could have won it. I'm
Yep.
sure nobody would have been mad if he did, but he's the IC champion. So, but I think it's time to, which I think for a while I was against, but I think it's time to do it where we got to get more than 30 men in the men's rumble.
Yeah.
I don't say we go up to 50. 40 seems like a weird number, but I think that's probably the right amount. Because you still get your funny special attractions, and you get your hurricanes well, obviously Santino can't because he's in with Impact now again, but you get those kinds of people. Or this time we pretty much got Booker T, who came out, did a spin and Rooney and got eliminated, which also fucking awesome, great to see.
I
But
actually I called that happening. I was like,
yeah,
he's gonna like beat up a couple people, do a spinner Rooney, and then he's gonna get his ass
yeah,
tossed, and that's exactly what
yeah,
happened.
yeah. So, but I think it's about time. But I think the two things, or I guess three things that I took from the Rumble: Gunther fucking kills it. Logan Paul fucking hate it, but the dude's really fucking good. Like, as much as
Okay, Paul, fuck you.
yeah. So it's funny because I mentioned, I bring this guy up a lot. My friend at work who's more of a casual fan. He uh, doesn't watch it or pay attention to it as much as we do, but he does watch it. He did watch the Royal Rumble. It's probably one of his first pay-per-views or premium live events that he's seen in a while. He fucking loves Otis. Like, he is I literally sent him a TikTok of, I seen a TikTok today of some ladies interviewing Otis, and she's just talking like, hey, Otis, what goes into a daily meal for you? Like, what do you eat in a day? And it's literally just Otis being hilarious, talking about what he eats throughout the day. And I sent that to him, and he literally just replied, as we're recording, he replied and goes, my spirit animal. So, but that was one of his biggest takeaways. He messaged me. He's like, dude, I hate Logan Paul. Why is he so good? It's like, dude, I know it doesn't make any sense, but obviously hit his spot with Ricochet, crazy. He came out, and my son is named Logan, not after Logan Paul, after Wolverine. Um,
Sure, sure, sure.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
his name is, he's not named after Logan Paul. I didn't even know Logan Paul existed whenever we named him. Anyways, um, he's obviously big into Prime and YouTube and Logan Paul and all this kind of stuff. So when Logan Paul came out holding a Prime, my kid was ecstatic. My kid got the new Prime flavor today, and he fucking loved it. And anyways, but so it's gonna bring in new eyes. Like, it's gonna hold my almost 9-year-old's attention
Yeah.
for a second at least, and then he's seen the video that I seen a couple days before, but it was the video of from a fan's perspective where Logan Paul's doing his rest outside of the ring, and like, "Oh, Logan, you're doing really good." And he was like, "We really like Prime," and then they gave him a Prime, and he like opened it, took a sip, and then went and did this, and then of course my kid comes in here and he's like, "Dad, there's this video of somebody giving Logan Paul a Prime, and that's how he was able to do that thing where he jumped off of the rope." I'm like, I just like,
Sure,
okay,
okay.
just be a kid. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna ruin it for you. Just be a kid, you know. But yeah, it was hilarious. So that's number 2. Number 3, let's not announce big surprises for the fucking Rumble because it ruined that. It took all the momentum out of it for me personally, at least. Even if I knew Cody Rhodes is gonna come in and beat 30, don't tell me Cody Rhodes is gonna come in and beat
Yeah.
30
Yeah.
because yeah, it's great, but obviously then like we get to it with everything that happened at the end of the Rumble. At least again, speaking for me personally, I don't give a fuck about Cody winning the Rumble. Granted, promo Monday night, fantastic. I still don't care.
The two Monday night promos were really great.
What's the other
But
one?
yeah, I agree. This week's and last week's was
Oh, I
really
don't
good.
remember last week's. I felt like I took a week off of wrestling after the Rumble because I get speaking going back to AEW. I don't know when Joe won the TNT title back.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Cool. I had no fucking idea. I'm literally doing dishes and I look over and Joe's cutting a promo into the camera holding both titles and I'm go, he lost one of those. When the fuck did he get it back? I was like, and for a minute, my brain couldn't comprehend which one he lost. I go, wait, he's not supposed to have the ring. Well, no, he kept the Ring of Honor. He lost the. Darby had the TNT title. When did he get this? What the fuck did I miss? And he's cutting a promo on Wardlow like Darby never existed. And I'm like, that's another thing. That another side tangent for AEW. Their titles are wild, dude. It's crazy. It's like you get Jade and then the AEW title, and then everybody else is just all over the place. And it's like, holy shit. Which I guess they claim to have the titles for a while, but still.
Yeah. But
Anyways, back to Rumble.
yeah, him coming at 30, it just took the piss
Yeah.
out of fucking everything. It's just like I don't know, like we're getting to like let's say it's like
And-
at 26 and I was like, "Oh, he's coming out at 30."
Yeah. And
28 comes out 29. I was like, "This fucking
Yeah.
sucks."
And then, granted, whenever it got down to just him and Gunther, fucking hell of a match. Like, but
Yeah.
in my head, that counts as that was a one-on-one match at the Royal Rumble. That was
Yeah.
just a fucking banger at that point. Like, that was just a really good one-on-one match. And also, I don't know if that's like the longest time that the last 2 participants have been in the Rumble because that seemed like they were together there for a minute. Like I said, basically had a whole match almost.
Yeah.
Also, mentioned Gunther setting the record for traditional Rumble matches for longest.
Longest time.
Yeah.
In a Rumble, yeah. Um,
Which in my book
fucking-
fucking counts as the record.
Fuck yeah. And they're like, "Oh, you want to see how that pectoral muscle's doing? Let
Oh
Gunther
yeah,
twist it
yeah.
out."
We need.
Hey, fucking.
Hey, we need.
just-
Hey, Cody. Let's have a conversation. You came back and immediately got hurt. You're gonna win the Rumble, but we need to make sure that you're gonna be able to make it to the Rumble, or you're gonna make sure you're gonna make it to Rumble. Make sure that pec's good to go, okay? And Cody's like, all right, cool, yeah, what do you got in mind? Gunther's gonna
Gunther.
beat your fucking ass, okay? Oh yeah. And then I'm
One
sure-
thing that the only like one thing that I actually enjoyed. I didn't catch it the first time when they did it live, but they did the press conference and then he did it again, which was the Too Sweet Bullet Club.
Oh yeah,
kiss
yeah,
the-
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was because he did that where he did the Too Sweet, he kissed his gun, and then he pointed at the sign. And then Young Bucks changed their because that's
Yeah.
what they do. They changed their Twitter bio,
Twitter profile,
and it
yeah.
was of the hand and the gun. So that was a
Yeah.
cool little acknowledgement back and forth. Then he did do it later again. So I think did think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that. What else do we have? We had the Mountain Dew Pitch Black.
I didn't
Lights
hate
Out.
it.
It was okay, but okay. That match, the Bianca Bliss match, I was like, bro, are we like short on
Yeah.
time? Because
Yeah.
holy shit,
Yeah.
they're like five. It felt like 5 minute matches,
Yeah,
both of them.
And I don't think they were far off from that. I'll pull it up real quick while we're talking about it. but I don't think they were far off from that.
The lights out match, okay, black light, totally fine, whatever. But I was just
Oh,
like,
I have a fourth thing from the Rumble. Pat McAfee on commentary still fucking fantastic.
awesome. Yeah,
I
great.
know in our group I'm considered the Pat fanboy. I don't give a fuck if anybody says he's not fantastic on commentary. They're fucking wrong. Okay, just wrong.
I
Because
actually have a
as soon as those black lights hit, and he goes, "Oh, I'm glad I washed these pants." It's like, and then I mean, again, hit us with another. Oh, we're here on the peacock, which I'm pretty sure he got in trouble for the first time, and I guess now they're like, just fucking do it, dude. I guess Um,
uh
so the Bray match, so the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match, which I got a Mountain Dew Pitch Black because of the Rumble. Fucking awful, by the way. Just
it's grape.
it. No, it's not grape. That's the problem.
It's
No,
not grape.
no. A guy I worked with was like, "Yeah, I bought that because I thought it was grape." It's not. It's dark citrus.
What the fuck is that?
Who knows? Mountain Dew's already citrus. Put some fucking grape in it. Like, it's fucking. It looks like grape Mountain Dew. Make grape Mountain Dew. No, it's dark citrus Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew Pitch Black match was 5 minutes and 5 seconds.
Oh, for fuck's sake, that was just fucking ass.
Bianca Belair defeating Alexa Bliss by pinfall, 7 minutes and 35 seconds.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh.
So,
Jesus.
and I,
No
and I
wonder
think,
she's fucking taking time off again.
and I think and it's funny because we did our sheets that we sent out on Facebook or whatever, and I think if you look at those sheets, we're all like, oh, it's 15 minutes, 17 minutes, yeah, it's 21 minutes. Like, I think technically even the Universal Championship match, some of us were like 29 minutes, and it's like that was 19 minutes, but still, it's like, yeah, we were all like, oh yeah, 15 minutes. I don't think anybody was below 15 minutes, and then they're like, all right, cool, we see that half.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
it was like the pitch black match.
It was
like,
cool. Why it was 5 minutes, and I think it could have been better.
yes, and they
And then also,
it was an actual match. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
some like pre-recorded bullshit, anything like that. Like I was like picturing it. In headcanon, it
Yeah.
made sense for it to be a cinematic
Yeah.
bullshit match and not an actual match. And I mean,
it was cool, like seeing that Bray doing the whatever I can't even think of what it's called, the paint that whenever
yeah,
the normal lights was on, it didn't show
yeah,
anything. You could tell there was something on his face, and then the black lights go off. You see the cool like 6 on the side of his head, and
yeah,
all the contacts and the vampire fangs and all that. But
yeah,
also, this story doesn't make, to me, honestly, and again, a lot of people came out of this with, hey, it's cool to have Bray back. This is great, I guess, kind of. But LA Knight is fantastic. That's what a
yeah,
lot of people took out of this, which is good because I liked him when he was Eli Drake in Impact and everywhere else he was. I liked him then.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But it was so is Uncle Howdy and Bray on the same team? Are they not on the same team? What's Alexa have to do with this?
That's what we're trying to
What are
figure
the
out.
other fight, like the things after Uncle Howdy jumped off onto LA Knight and exploded? Horrible elbow drop, by the way, completely
Bro,
missed.
he was like
Horrible camera
way
angle.
past his head.
Yeah, they should have had it at a little lower where you couldn't see him land at least, just let him fall into nothingness and then explode. That'd been better. But then that happens and you see all the fire or the creatures,
Funhouse,
puppets.
yeah.
They come over the top and it's like, what the fuck is happening? This has been at this point it's been 3 months since Bray returned, almost 4 months since Bray's returned, and we have
Yeah.
no idea what the fuck's happening.
Yep.
I'm assuming we're gonna get something before Mania, right?
Likely. Hopefully.
Are we? Are we though?
Hopefully.
Are we though?
I mean, the plan is still for some reason Bray Wyatt versus Uncle Howdy at WrestleMania, whatever that means.
But then why is he dropping an elbow on fucking LA Knight then? Like, what is happening?
Fuck as I know, it's confusing
And then it's like,
as fuck.
okay, if that's the case, then is it whoever is Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, more than likely. Whoever's Uncle Howdy, then it's just, okay, this Bray versus Bo Dallas in a mask. Like, do we ever get him just to be Bo Dallas, or is he always
Never.
in the Uncle Howdy mask? Is he just Uncle
Yeah.
Howdy now?
Yes.
And then is okay. Do we get a vulture? What is the vulture's name? I can't remember. Mercy.
Mercy.
Mercy the
Mercy.
Buzzard. Yeah. Do we get a Mercy match at some point? Is he signed active WWE roster member? Which I don't even know if Uncle Howdy is, but yeah, I don't know.
Probably not. Yeah.
It's crazy. Um.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gunther lasted an hour. If you subtract Gunther's time in the Royal Rumble for an hour, it's still longer than both of those matches almost combined. Because Gunther was in for 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 40 seconds. I mean, those two matches combined were 12 minutes and 40 seconds. So, literally a minute. That's wild, dude.
That says a lot, I guess.
Yeah. And then,
Mainly because they needed to put an extra 30 minutes after the actual main card being over,
yeah,
really.
I guess so, true. But I guess that's about it. That's time to talk about that. We've talked about everything else. Now we got the Roman Reigns betrayal 2.0.
Yep.
I think that was one of my favorite things that came out of it. Other than it obviously happening, but is the meme of Roman's face after Sami hit him, and it was like,
PTSD.
yo, my man's Roman is shook.
He got PTSD.
Yeah. Oh man, but also that pop when Sami, and I mean, it's one of those things you're watching it and you're like, it's gonna fucking happen, it's gonna happen, but is it? Is it gonna happen? It's gonna happen, and then it fucking happened, and that pop was literally one of probably top 3 pop. I mean, that's up there with Edge at Royal Rumble return pop. Like, that shit was so loud. And just great storytelling. Jimmy immediately jumping on him. Solo immediately jumping on him and beating the fuck out of him. But also the moment, because that's what's cool, is like, obviously Sami and Solo have been cool this whole time. Yep. However cool you can be with Solo. Because, I mean, I think they were tag teaming for a while, or at least a couple times that they tag teamed.
I think when Solo came up originally, they tagged a couple times, but then he finally was literally going solo.
Yeah, yeah. And then Jimmy's also always been down with Sami. And then we finally get Jay winning him over, Jay defending him. And Sami hitting Roman with the chair. And the first thing he does is turn to Jay and apologize.
Yeah.
And then Jay's reaction, perfect. Great. All of it through and through. And then what's funny is the little things that, because obviously, it's scripted content, like everybody knows that. But it's still the little things, like, and I thought about this going back to the main event of Dynamite this week, where you're watching, like I said, the cameras are focused on Billy and the Acclaimed. And there's the conversation that happens between Billy and Max. And in my head, what the things I'm always fascinated by is like, okay, is that stuff for the camera? Or are they actually talking about something that happened? And like, is that like shoot thing? Or is that like a work conversation, basically, to put it in wrestling terminology? So it's cool to see the things that they do when they're like just furthering, I guess, the story, where they're walking up the ramp after they literally beat the fuck out of Sami. And Jay's holding Sami's honorary U shirt above his head. And Roman, and you can't even really hear. I knew he said something, couldn't hear what he said. They released it later, where he's not even looking at Solo. He just says, "We're at war now, Solo." And Solo kind of acknowledges what he says. And he says something else. I can't remember what it is now, but he just says, "We're at war now, Solo." And he says something else. And to me, I don't know why. That was just like, oh, that's so fucking cool. Because it's like, makes it feel more real at that time.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that's like, he didn't have to do that. Like, I mean, they were fine just leaving it like he is. But also shows how better Roman has got throughout the past few years. Of, hey, that's something he could add. That added, at least for me, something tremendously to that moment of, hey, we're a fucking war. We're about to go to war. Like, I thought was really cool.
Yeah. And obviously the build up into last week's SmackDown, kind of what I was expecting a little bit, was they're in Canada.
Yeah.
Elimination Chamber is going to be in Montreal. So it made sense for Sammy to be challenging Roman
That
for
crowd
the.
is gonna be wild.
It's going to be a hot crowd
Yeah.
for sure. Obviously, he's likely going to get some help from Solo. Jimmy and Jay are typically not allowed in the country, but
Oh yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
uh,
I think I seen somewhere. I don't remember if it was one of us that said it or if I read it somewhere. They have made an exception to that before.
yes, before, which they
So
could potentially do. I feel like if they do, they would do it for Jay, because I also feel like potentially Jay is the one that will, because I feel like Kevin Owens could take care of Solo.
yeah,
But then it's like, okay, well, Roman's gonna need somebody. I mean, technically he doesn't need anybody.
yeah,
But if there was gonna be somebody that's gonna help him, Jay is gonna be the one to help, because that kind of aligns them
yeah,
back to because I don't see, if it was for one title, I can see Sammy winning.
yeah,
But because it's for both, obviously Sammy's not gonna win.
yeah.
And I've been saying, KO and Sammy versus Usos for the belts at Mania. But
I'll
I
do
also
that.
feel like they could do that night one, but I also feel like they can do Sammy versus Roman night two, but then Cody would have to face Roman
On
night
night one.
one.
Which I'm
Yeah.
honestly
So
sorry, Cody. Again, I've been saying it for the past couple weeks. Sorry, Cody. Again, your Rumble moment probably WWE probably didn't do you any favors by that because again, I don't care. Yeah, but this is also the same thing that's happened to in the past couple years, where it happened to Ali, where he was building his momentum and it turned into Kofi Mania out of nowhere,
yeah.
and now we're basically building up to probably Sammy Mania at this point.
So how I'm seeing it, yeah, okay. To your point, they did no favors for Cody for winning. Yes. Yeah, you get your guaranteed opportunity at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
You're gonna do something that your family has never done.
yeah,
Great. But I also feel like they are giving him the credibility of, even though Sammy being the hot hand and everybody being invested, I feel like they had enough confidence in Cody to still drive his story with Roman
yeah,
to WrestleMania. And these last 2 weeks, the two promos, they've been fantastic.
yeah.
So the one from last week, obviously there was no acknowledgement of. Wait, did he acknowledge Sammy last week or was it this week?
No, it was this
It
week.
doesn't.
It was this week because he came out because
Okay,
I didn't want I don't know the one from 2 weeks ago. I don't know that one, but this
okay,
one he came out and was like, "Hey, what do you guys want
yeah,
to talk about?"
okay.
And
So
he mentioned Sammy.
2 weeks ago, he delivered a great, obviously, babyface promo that ended up leading his, like, Roman Reigns is by far the biggest and best superstar that WWE has to offer. However, when it comes to me and at WrestleMania, you can call him Roman Reigns, you can call him the tribal chief, you can call him head of the table, but what you will not call him by the end of WrestleMania is the WWE undisputed Universal Champion.
Yeah, that's
So,
not saying
right,
I'm going to be.
right.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I guess, but uh, that was great overall, because everyone obviously is kind of like, okay, what's gonna, like,
yeah,
what is he gonna say? What is he gonna do? And the crowd was still behind him,
yeah,
so that's good, because as soon as, if he didn't give a convincing promo, then everyone would have probably lost faith
yeah,
in anything going forward. This week, Heyman gets to help him in this one
yeah,
too. And bro,
yeah,
that shit was fucking fire.
yeah. It was really good, really
Fucking
fucking good.
Heyman was just dropping bombs on
Yeah,
him.
yeah. And I mean,
But yeah,
they had the really. It was. I think it was so good because it was almost like a roller coaster where
yeah,
you get the beginning of it where Cody's showing his respect and he's talking about how much he owes Heyman, how much he respects Heyman, and all this kind of stuff, and then um, it gets to the part where okay, Heyman's feeling emotional for everything that happens, and then Heyman flips it
Yeah.
Then Cody flips it, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
he's like, everybody wants to make this personal.
Yeah.
You just made it personal, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
It
this
was
was,
good. It was good. Like
yeah,
so it's they had the right confidence, right? The right build for Cody to be like, okay, you're gonna run with this. We need you to run with it, and hopefully it doesn't deteriorate what you're trying to build for yourself going into WrestleMania. Because if you having Sammy being hot, that has every opportunity to derail any amount of
yeah,
momentum for Cody
yeah,
as a character. And then we're gonna be back to how everything turned out in AEW, where everyone decided to start hating Cody,
yeah,
and that easily could happen here.
yeah,
And that's what I think everyone was thinking was going to happen after Royal Rumble. So far, 2 weeks after, there are two still good, consistent stories
yeah.
trekking forward. Uh, so we'll see what happens. I don't know if Cody's going to have a match for Elimination Chamber. I was kind of
Well,
surprised that Roman was going to have one,
yeah,
but with them
because
during that turn, obviously they had to.
yeah, true. Because another thing, I don't guess I need to look at how many fucking chamber matches are there?
Only two.
Okay, so there's
Wait, yeah,
because
two.
there's a women's,
Yeah.
but then I thought there was one for the U.S. title, and I thought there was one, and then they started talking about the Intercontinental title. So now I think there's just one for the IC title.
No.
Hold on.
So they haven't. So they only did. Oddly enough, they did a number one contender elimination chamber
Okay.
for Bianca's title because we didn't talk about what Rhea chose. Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
She wants her revenge. Hopefully she gets it. I pray to God she gets it. Um,
She fucking better.
Raw. Yeah, the number one contendership for the Raw Women's Championship is for elimination chamber, and it's funny because they have Raw and SmackDown challengers in that match. Um, and then they did a United States chamber match, which I'm likely Theory's going to retain because I
Yeah.
think they're
So
planning Theory for versus Cena at WrestleMania.
looking at this card, at the card so far, you have Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Judgment Day, Finn and Rhea. Um, which seems weird now that Rhea's won the Rumble, but hey, whatever.
Oh,
Um,
Finn is going to take the pin, unfortunately.
yeah, Roman versus Sammy, obviously.
Yep,
Asuka, Liv, Nikki Cross, Raquel, Natalia, and Carmella. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the Raw Women's Championship. Oh,
opportunity.
wait. Oh, yeah, unless you're for a Raw
Yeah,
Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. And then Theory, Rollins, Gargano, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, and Montez Ford in the Elimination Chamber for the United States Championship.
yeah.
Okay,
So
so I guess I seen a rumor that they were doing it for the IC title, and then they're just not.
yeah, I heard that too before going into it.
Oh,
That
this
the IC
poster though for
Championship.
the poster for the Elimination Chamber. I was sending in chat. There's two people on it.
Uh, that's so dumb. Um, Other shit that they're trying to plan for it for Elimination Chamber. That is this
Whoa, dude!
week.
I'm on the Elimination Chamber wiki page, and it's given like a background of it, bro. First line, Elimination Chamber is a gimmick event. Whoa, dude, calm down, okay?
You're a fucking gimmick.
Yeah, fucking Wikipedia. Fucking...
Um, so what do we have? We have this week on Raw. We finally got the steel cage match with Bailey and Becky. Lita
Out of
came
nowhere.
came back to help Becky. The plan is, well, one plan was still to do Bailey versus Becky at WrestleMania. The build up to it, Elimination Chamber, is we're going to get Damage Control versus Becky, Lita, and returning apparently this upcoming Raw, Trish Stratus.
Also incredibly random, but is that that's supposed to be Mania?
No,
Oh,
Elimination Chamber.
okay,
Mania, they're gonna just do Bailey versus Becky.
okay.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
Uh, but we'll see. But that's what their plans are. Their plans right now, so far, uh, tentatively, they were gonna do Theory, Cena, even though Cena is like fucking filming right now, so he's like he would only be coming through just for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
There's gonna be no fucking build up, which is
Awful.
fucking shitty.
Yeah.
Fucking shitty. It's pretty much um John Cena versus Undertaker at WrestleMania that one time.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what that is.
Yeah.
Um Potentially Becky versus Bailey, which we already talked about. Uh Gunther defending against Sheamus and Drew McIntyre for the IC title. Um
Brock versus
now
Bobby.
I mean, oh actually they're doing that for Elimination Chamber apparently.
It's
Granted
not. It's not on the card yet, but okay.
the contract signing is next week,
Okay.
but they introduced that this week on this past Raw, which is I thought fucking weird. I was like, why can't we save this for Mania? Does that make sense?
I mean, I thought it was Mania. 2 nights of Mania. I mean,
I mean, unless they're gonna do like a
like a
fucking
yeah, yeah.
stipulation,
Or they'll have
like
probably like an
a
MMA fight or something. Like,
Lions Den,
yeah,
or like a Last Man Standing. I don't know,
yeah,
or no holds bar match maybe.
yeah,
Um, Potentially Rollins versus Logan Paul for
yeah.
WrestleMania.
I watched. This was yesterday's Pat McAfee show. I want to say, where Rollins was on it. Still rocking. I mean, just the clothes. They talked about his clothes on there. Dude showed up with wearing all black, and his jacket had silver peacock feathers on it. Hilarious. But
You got the cock on your
which
jacket.
he did say, which Pat said, and then Rollins repeated it after, and I was like, okay, dude. Rollins, I don't think you can say that. I think Pat can get away with it. I don't know if you can say that. But which they did say that as well. But yeah, with how, because it's funny, because the conversation that they had for a little bit, they had, normal, just, I don't remember, I think it was, they sat down and they started the conversation, and Pat, you could tell Pat was in his, for lack of a better phrase, thanks Wikipedia, gimmick of just kind of trying to kind of fucking with Rollins about it.
Yeah.
And they're talking about, because they're talking about how, and that's what the picture that I sent of Rollins being on it and Pat standing on top of his chair while Rollins is sitting next to him at the desk. And he was talking about how cool it was when Logan Paul took the selfie and then did the frog splash. Like, oh, it's so cool. Like, he was, and then Rollins was like, wait, so many people have done frog splashes, but because he had held the camera while he did his is better. And then Pat was like, oh yeah, he's doing Stu's job and his job. I guess Stu's one of the cameramen. He's like, he's doing Stu's job and his job. And it was fucking hilarious. You could see Pat was messing with him, and it was hilarious. It was a very good thing to watch. But yeah, the way that Rollins is talking about Logan Paul, I'm pretty sure, which technically, Seth Rollins is also taking some shots at CM Punk in the past few weeks. But
During,
he did say
Rumble,
those
yeah.
were real and not a work. Those are his actual opinions. Call him a cancer to a locker room, and so triple threat match: CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Logan Paul at WrestleMania.
Or CM Punk's be wearing a luchador mask and
Yeah,
jumping around.
throw a real bad elbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, miss completely.
So there's been a lot of speculation also. So we had NXT had a show. They had their Vengeance Day this past weekend. Let's talk a little bit about that. But there was speculation that NXT stars were going to be allowed to work selected indie shows and promotions. However, that ended up reporting to be false because Booker T, who has now retired from in-ring action. The Rumble was his last time he's going to lace up his boots. He's going to focus on his wrestling school and his promotion, which is... what is it called? It doesn't matter. But Ivy Nile from NXT was going to do a one-time appearance for him, which is why everyone thought that NXT stars were going to be allowed to do those things. Appears to be just not the case. Booker T does work for WWE, so he probably just asked Sean, was like, "Hey, can I just have her show up for one of my promotion shows?" So, and they got the approval for it.
Reality of wrestling.
Yes, I was like,
Thanks, Google.
I was gonna say Hog, but I was like, no, that's something
Yeah,
else.
that's House of Glory. Is that what that's called?
Yeah, House of Glory.
Yeah,
Uh, I thought it was like ROW, but I was like,
yeah. It is
Raw. That doesn't
ROW.
sound. Yeah,
Reality of wrestling.
yeah. That was interesting. Whatever, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
As I mentioned before, Bliss again taking time off from WWE. Again, she's not happy with how things are turning out. I was like, well,
No shit.
like, yeah, like, what the fuck? Why do you need to be tied to Bray Wyatt again? Why can't you just do your own thing? I feel like that's what she wants to do, but then it's like they keep throwing her back to Bray. But it's
Yeah.
like she was
And then it's
doing great things as the goddess. Like, just
oh, dude, I miss that
like
Alexa Bliss so much.
like
Like that, she's been so much. She's been like this since the goddess stuff. Like when she
yeah,
was like that first initial Alexa Bliss run, fucking great. Like everything
yeah,
about it was so good. Like her just heel, mean to everybody, mean girl, whatever you want to call it, just fantastic. And it's like okay, now it's Charlotte and Ronda only, and that's what it's been the past few years with occasional touch of Becky here and there. I guess Bailey too, but I mean most of that we're okay. Again, it's those first two names you say, Charlotte and Becky, or Charlotte and Ronda. Everybody's tired of those, so
yeah, yeah.
who
So
knows?
it's like, oh, okay, like what, like why?
Yeah.
What's going on here? Um, WWE sale, could it be in
Uh
jeopardy?
oh.
Could it be in jeopardy? Because apparently Comcast is leaving the sale race because they don't believe Vince McMahon will step down after the sale is complete.
Hey,
So,
who was just having this conversation the other day?
so Nick Khan, no relation to my boy Tony, uh,
Tony
has
Khan
gone
cool
in
with. Nick
public.
Khan not cool with.
Yeah, uh, he's gone on to say in public face that Vince McMahon is, yes, he's been brought back into the board to only see and deliver the sale of the company, and they want to do the sale prior to their media rights and television deal because figure they can do that all in a package
Yeah,
deal rather than lock up with networks and then try doing a sale
yeah,
and cause a bunch of fucking conflict.
yeah,
Um, some people are buying it that Vince will indeed, after the sale is done, he will step down again. He's gone on to say that I will step down. Um, Comcast doesn't believe in it, so they're kind of pulling back. And if you think about it, Comcast being one of the big financial
yeah.
companies and people out there, other potential suitors might be like, oh,
Lower their
do I
bid.
do it? Yeah, they're like, well, that, and they're like, well, do we want this?
Yeah,
Is this something that we want to even dip our toes in the water
yeah,
for? Um, but we'll see. Hopefully, we'll get to find out more. But apparently, Comcast
yeah.
pulling out. See
Looks.
what
I got.
happens.
I got the official report here from Comcast. Is right here. Says somebody's gonna have to kill Vince McMahon for him to step down. So,
So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, we'll see. A little Impact news too.
ooh, I
Okay.
forgot about that. We gotta talk about that.
One, Kenny King resigning with Impact. Big Khan, I think, resigned as well. Khan
Hmm.
did. I think we might have talked about that a couple weeks
Yeah,
ago, maybe. Deanna Prazo, going into last year, her contract was supposed to expire. Um, they had kind of did a restructure and they added one more year to her contract. So she will be a free agent at the end of the year. Jan 1st, 2024, she'll be a free agent. It'll be interesting to see where she goes after that, whether she would stay. Actually, I forgot one thing. actually no, we'll keep talking about Impact. I got to do a little NXT talk again. Still, I almost forgot a couple things, but yeah, interesting to see what Palazzo's gonna happen. If she's gonna stay with Impact, if she joins AEW Ring of Honor, or joining her best friend, going back to WWE, in which they never used her in NXT to begin with. But she's best friends with Chelsea Green. So, but again, she's marrying Steve Macklin, who's an Impact. So I don't see her wanting
Leaving.
to
Yeah.
split that stuff up. Granted, again, Impact still pre-tapes everything, so I feel like anybody that's in Impact has more freer time
Yeah.
to like move around and shit. Um, other than everybody else who kind of records on a live TV basis. But the big news that came out of this week, Impact and New Japan doing a cross promotioner show in LA at the same
Dude,
fucking time as WrestleMania.
fuck them.
Uh, WrestleMania weekend, Ring of Honor is doing it, Impact's doing it, um, and all the other promotions, fucking Mike Bailey's doing that same fucking in 28 hours span,
That
which
dude's
we'll
fucking insane.
briefly talk about, but it's called Multiverse United. Um, Only the Strong Survive. Bro, you gotta come up with better fucking titles. These things
Yeah.
are fucking long as shit.
Yeah.
These titles are longer than the pay-per-view itself.
True. Yep. Yep.
But some of the matches that they've already announced already were Josh Alexander versus Kushida, and then for I think the fifth time that they're meeting, Will Ospreay and Mike Bailey are duking it. Um, Mike Bailey that weekend is doing three matches, two on the same day. One is for Bloodsport, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, where he's fighting Kota Ibushi, who's also a free agent. He's finally free. The man is free. Um, he's fighting Kota Ibushi there, and then later that night he's fighting Osprey, and then
The next night.
the next night he's doing. What's I posted it in that group chat. So, uh, God, I gotta go through all of these messages Joey sent today.
He
He's
helped.
fighting
Yeah.
Iho the Valkingo
There you go.
at
Better. That's
GCW.
yeah.
So,
That's Friday
uh,
night.
yeah,
So
that's a
yeah.
big thing.
The Josh Barnett Bloodsport. That's it. I'm assuming it's not his match, but that it says that that's Thursday at 4 p.m. And then the Multiverse United is at 8 p.m. Pacific time. That
Yeah.
is wild.
So likely Mike Bailey will be doing. He'll be the first match in Bloodsport.
Oh
Then
yeah,
so he could go across the street to fucking fight Will Ospreay
yeah,
a few hours later, and then the next day he's fighting Vikingo, which is all three of those matches are probably gonna be fucking bangers. No
yeah,
lie, they probably
yeah.
will.
Pretty excited
All
for that.
three of those guys. So yeah, pretty interesting. I mean, we still have a build up of probably. When is New Japan's show?
The 28th,
That's gonna. Is that the Battle of the Valley?
I think so.
That's also gonna be pretty fun. I'll definitely be watching that probably.
W
See how that turns out.
Battle in the
Um,
Valley is. Oh no no no! That is next weekend.
nice.
That is the 18th, Saturday the 18th.
Fuck yeah, that's gonna be banging.
Uh, kind of just read through that card for a second.
I mean, if we do the episode next week, we could do that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we'll talk about that next
But
week.
yeah, but that's gonna be fun.
Because
Definitely
this is
probably try.
going to be Mercedes' debut,
Tech, yeah.
quote
So,
unquote debut. But they got
um,
all the stars on this one. Ooh, damn! I might be watching this card too.
we're gonna do a watch along.
Yeah, I mean we got Bobby Fish on the pre-show.
Shit.
Jay White, MCMG dude.
Let's see. And some NXT news. Vengeance Day, like I said, both tag titles changed hands. Uh, Casey or Katana Chance and Kaden Carter defended
Was it?
against.
Why did they change her name? I
I
mean,
have
I know
no
why, because
idea.
they're stupid.
Yes. Um, they were facing Fallon and Tatum. They Fallon got the roll up, but Family like she held her legs down, so like she couldn't kick out, so they won. New Day were the tag champs. They defended in a four-way. Gallus won. Uh, Braun Breaker retained. He's looking likely. Their Stand and Deliver show that they're doing part of WrestleMania weekend. He'll probably be defending against Carmelo Hayes because that's
Which
what they're kind of.
Carmelo should probably win.
I'm pretty sure he's probably gonna win. Um, I'm trying to think.
Who's there? Oh, Wesley. Never mind.
Yeah, Wesley beat Dijak, and Dijak broke his fucking
Apparently that was.
finger.
Apparently people said that was a really good match.
It was a good match. It opened the
Like
show. It
there
was
were people
really
that
good.
said, "Hey, if you liked Black and Gold NXT and you want something that feels like Black and Gold NXT, go watch that match."
Yeah, it
I
was
haven't
pretty
watched
good.
it yet, but and then yeah, Dijak with the horrific
They got a
sideways
lot of
finger.
time too, so
Yeah,
it was cool. It was a good opening match.
I think I seen a tweet and it was like I was reading about it because I was trying to find the video of where he broke his finger, kind of like how you did with when Pac did his. I was trying to find the video of where he broke it. I still don't know where he fucking broke it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Um,
I think
but
it was probably towards the end, like when he did the dive on Tony on the outside. I feel like maybe that could have happened because at
yeah,
any point during the match, he never like
yeah,
indicated
no,
like anything to his hand. So I feel like him doing that to the outside is
yeah.
kind of when he broke it. I
The
feel
only thing
like
I was trying to watch is when Wesley did his finisher. I was thinking maybe he landed on his hand wrong. He like West landed
maybe.
on Dijak's hand. I didn't. Again, if it happened, Dijak no sold the fuck out of it because
Yeah,
he didn't motion that. Because I mean, even when Pac did his, which Pac's a tough son of a, he's a tough bastard too. You know,
yeah,
he still held his up and said,
yeah,
"Hey, here's my fucking fingers sideways, dude."
yeah.
So wherever it happened
It's,
with Dijak, he didn't sell. And
it's,
then the fucking picture after of him flipping the camera off and his fucking fingers at
it's
almost
still
a 90
like
degree angle, and I'm just like, dude, I get it. It's a cool photo. Go get your fucking finger fixed, okay?
it
Um,
is so funny. Like okay, so Wesley gets the pin. And you know how the cameras are usually looking at the downed
yeah,
opponent, and like they had zero plan whatsoever. They pointed, and his fingers just his hand is
yeah.
up, and then everyone's on the commentary. They're like, "Oh, what the fuck?" They're like, "That's it's
Yeah, let's move that somewhere
let's
else.
go, yeah,
Um,
let's go."
But one of the other tweets I seen, like again, people talking about that match, it was like, yo, why is Dijak out here doing fucking springboards like he's not 6'7"? And I'm like, that's a good point. This dude's a big ass fucking dude, but that dude's also extremely athletic for his size. Like
Yeah,
he's really good, and they almost ruined him. I'm glad he's getting another chance.
yeah. Carmelo and Apollo Cruz had a match. 2 out of 3 falls, but fucking Carmelo 2-0'd his ass.
Oh,
I was
I didn't
like,
know that. Yeah.
damn, okay. Um, Roxanne Perez retained
Oh,
over
hey, whoa! You gonna? I'm stalling for time because I'm trying to think of his fucking name.
Dabba-Kato.
Nope. I mean, that's what he was. Is that what he is
No,
again now?
that's what he is again. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Dabba-Kato,
No,
not
he was.
Commander Aziz.
Okay, that's what it was. Commander
Yeah,
Aziz. Yeah.
yeah, he came out. I thought he was gonna help him get the second dub or
Yeah.
his first dub,
Yeah.
and it was kind of awkward, and Carmelo was able to beat him again, and then Baba Kato came out and beat the shit out of
Yeah.
Apollo, and then apparently on this past Tuesday, they're like, "Why did you attack him?" He knows exactly why I attacked him, and then I was like,
Okay,
"Okay,
cool, dude. We don't.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
I mean,
okay,
you want to fill
okay."
us in? Yeah. Like, that's cool that he knows and that you know, but, like,
We don't.
yeah. Can we know? You know, give us a little peek.
Um, Roxanne retained over Gigi and JC, and unfortunately, in this past NXT on Ding Dong Hello, Toxic Attraction is done.
I've seen
No
people like, oh
more.
my gosh, they used a video package with Mandy. She's coming back. And it's like, hey, stupid. That doesn't mean anything.
She ain't coming
Yeah,
back.
that just means that WWE owns a video with her in it, and it's telling a story of a faction of 3 people. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna see her.
Yeah.
Like that's like, so, oh, we're
So
gonna play this undisputed era thing and not show Kyle O'Reilly.
right.
Like, okay, dude.
Um but yeah, they pulled the Rockers split.
Yeah,
Gigi being Shawn Michaels, however, not JC being Shawn Michaels and Gigi being Marty, and obviously Gigi's gonna be doing a lot better than Marty ever did.
true.
Um, so yeah, JC also just like fucking booted her ass in the face.
Yeah,
That shit was brutal. And
yeah.
then she took a picture of the bruise she had, bro.
I haven't
I
seen
was
that.
like,
I need to see. I need to go look
I
that
was
up.
like, I'm like, bro, why you gotta
Oof.
do her like that?
Yeah, dude.
Um, but one thing that I was keeping note in Vengeance Day because it was their first time outside of Orlando. Like
Hmm.
this was them doing a outside in a city show, and I was trying to see how people were getting behind wrestlers
Yeah,
because every time they are superstars,
yeah,
um,
dude. Watch your mouth.
the times that
Dustin
they've
will come
brought them
for you.
up, the time fuck Dustin. Um, the times that they've put them on TV while Vince was on, nothing.
Yeah,
And they still like I still feel like that with some of the NXT guys being on the main roster that Triple H brought back. I still feel like people aren't behind them.
yeah,
But I did notice the crowd was behind Wesley, they were behind Gigi, they were behind Roxanne, they were behind Carmelo, and they were behind well obviously New Day, but I'm not counting the New Day.
yeah.
Um and they were behind Braun. So, and they were booing the shit out of your boy Grayson Waller. So,
Hell yeah.
whatever he's doing, obviously it's working if people
No,
continue just to boo him.
no, it's not good
I
booze.
mean, it's bad publicity.
Yeah,
Stop.
yeah, yeah. No, 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 no. Those are bad boos.
Um, so hopefully those transitions when and if they happen,
Yeah,
work to their benefit.
because I
But
think people like I don't know how Braun Breaker's gonna do on the main roster whenever he goes.
I don't either.
I don't know if it's gonna translate. Well, because I mean, and when I say translate, I don't. Again, I can't tell you the last time I actually watched an episode of NXT. So that's also a thing. But also, it's like I don't know if he's as over as
Right.
he, as people as they're trying to make him be. I guess I don't know. But
Yeah.
it's like, so how does he transition? I mean, he's gonna come up to the main roster and he's gonna pick some people up and throw them really far, and then that's about it.
Well, that's the
But then
thing.
I see people like I feel like somebody like Carmelo, he could be
Yeah.
really good, really
Yeah.
good. I seen somebody mention something. I don't remember who the other one was. There's 2 people that are like, "Hey, what the fuck happened to these people?" One was Cameron Grimes, and I can't remember who the other one was.
He's dead.
What?
He's gonna be part of that Wyatt Six. Watch.
Probably to the moon, dude.
um, but yeah, and that's why I was trying to figure out because this not being in Orlando, because that crowd is always gonna be hot
Yeah,
for any of the NXT stars.
yeah. That's because
This
they're at
being
every same people at every show, probably.
yes,
Yeah,
it really is. And them expanding the audience because I mean it sold. I think it's sold out. But now in the crowd, it's not just the quote unquote diehards,
yeah,
but it's the everyday
yeah,
casual watching the show of Raw,
yeah,
NXT, and SmackDown. And if are they in tune with
yeah.
this next generation of stars?
And honestly,
Um,
there are probably more people watching just Raw, SmackDown. Like, oh, that other
right,
WWE product's in town. I'll buy a
right.
ticket and go.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
that's what I think a lot of them were end up doing. And that's why it's really interesting to kind of see like all whenever the popular stars are gonna decide to like retire or
yeah,
like pass the torch, it's gonna be interesting. Like obviously I feel like some would potentially be more forced into, hey, crowd like this person.
yeah.
like they did Roman
Yeah,
the first go around, and whether that backfire. But again, it's all gonna come down to creative, right? Like, what are the storylines you're gonna tell
yeah.
me? Why are you gonna make me believe that I want to back
Braun
Braun
Breaker.
Breaker,
Yeah,
right?
because I don't.
So
I
yeah,
mean, it's cool.
exactly,
It's
right.
cool that he's a Steiner and all that. Which I mean, he's not. I mean, he is, but
He
they're
is a
not
Steiner,
promoting
yeah,
him as a
as
Steiner
a
really.
Steiner, right?
It's like honestly when they bring him up, I think when they bring him up, ditch Braun Breaker because that name's one fucking stupid. Two, I think if you give him the Steiner name, I think it's gonna go. I think that'll do more for him than just people having to know that he's a Steiner.
Right.
So I think he should be when they bring him up the roster. You know, I don't think this should be Rick Steiner Jr., but
Yeah.
I think he should be a Steiner at least.
I think it'd be like Braun Steiner.
Yeah,
They're like,
probably.
we already
Yeah,
have a Braun though.
yeah.
Well, let's get rid of him.
It's spelled different. It's spelled different. This should just be Ron.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all right. We got anything else? Is that it for this week?
I think that's
Yeah,
it,
we
yeah.
rocked a solid almost hour and a half.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
I technically did have 2 weeks and a pay per view. Premium live event to talk about. So
Hey, you watch your fucking
true.
mouth.
That doesn't come from me. So, um, I think that's it for us. We'll be back. At least me and you for sure will be back next week. We got to talk about
Build up into the Battle of the Valley, man.
that.
Battle in the Valley.
I was trying to think of the name of it. I just looked it up. I already closed it. I was like,
I already forgot.
battle,
Fuck.
battle. It's not Battle of Los Angeles. It's not Bola. What battle? I was like, okay, there it is. But so we'll at least me and you. If the others join, who knows? But at least me and you'll be back next week to talk about that because that card does look interesting. This is like a good card. Hopefully, Jay White fucking beats the fuck out of Eddie Kingston. But who knows? So yeah, we'll be back next week. Do other things like comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys next week. Later.
Peace.